Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
It's a special edition of DBL as we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with his goddaughter, Donzalea Abernathy, gospel stars David and Tamala Mann, and actor Jalen Hall, who's in a new series about MLK. We're talking all about MLK's life and how his legacy continues to live on today.
Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No. Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to this special edition of DBL. Today we are honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and want to say happy birthday Martin Luther King Jr. Day to everyone watching. I'm Erica and I'm here with Jeff and Al.
Yes.
How you guys doing today?
Good. Is it okay? Is it okay that I'm here?
Yes, your family. Your
Of
family.
course.
And I mean,
I'm just joking. I'm honored to be here.
This panel is what Dr. King wanted. He didn't want black people to do well over here and white folks to do well over here. He saw that it sounds so corny, but it's so real that we are all the same. Jeff, you and I relate on, I would say, 98% of every cultural reference that we have.
For sure.
And it's not about how we look or how we present to the world. It's about where we're from, how our families raised us. And I think Dr. King saw that, and he saw the lunacy of segregation and keeping people separate. We cannot advance like that. So it's an honor to be sitting with you and obviously with just one of my favorite people in the world, Mrs. Erica Cobb. You are. You absolutely are.
I love you, Al. I mean, it's an honor for me to be sitting here every day, but especially today because I always sit here and take up the seat in honor of my ancestors, the people who lost their lives and lived through so much struggle, just for the glimpse of seeing someone that reflected themselves in the media or from day to day. So I take that with a lot of responsibility and honor, and I'm happy to be here with all of you.
Yeah.
I love you guys. It's an honor
Love
for
you
me.
too. So we've got some special guests who are about to join us. They represent Black love on so many levels, including their marriage and their award-winning contributions to the culture. He's a hilarious comedic actor, and she's a gospel superstar. David and Tamala Mann are truly Black excellence, and they are here
Yeah,
live.
they are.
Yeah, let's give it up.
Welcome to DBL.
It's good to see you guys.
Oh, it's so good. Y'all know how much I love you. We are honored to have you back. So we have to start with a big congrats. Tonight on TV1, you'll both be recognized as icons of culture. Now, during the Urban One Honors special in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So how has Dr. King inspired you?
Oh my God, to me, he is the ultimate sacrifice of him in his life and what he was called to do, his ministry. And by us being in ministry, you know, coming up in church, it's just to see it, just to make the whole turnaround. Like Al was just saying, to see how it was working together.
You know, for me to go through the adversity that he went through and still try to live a life of peace through all of that and try to be inspirational and bring hope. And one day to dare to dream that somebody that looked like me could even be on platforms like this is truly an inspiration.
And to be honored, oh my God, this is great. I mean, it's a blessing. I don't want to cry. I got tissue on deck.
Well, listen, the honor is ours for sure. And this is a complicated question. Do you think Dr. King would be proud of where we are today as a nation?
Yes and no.
That's
I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We've made some strides. We made steps. Like I say, for people that look like me to be on platforms like this and be able to do what we do, yes. But we still have a ways to go as it relates to the police and politics and other things that affects us socially. I think he would give us a C+. You know, we still have a ways to go.
A C+.
I couldn't agree more.
Not a B.
That's, you know, and it's the part of the journey is continuing his work, and I appreciate that. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys having a real moment on TV just there, because David, when Erica said that you guys are going to be honored tonight, you said wow. Like you were taking it in and I appreciate just the honesty. You should sit back at some point and be like, you guys did something. Congratulations. It's an honor to speak to you. So with
You
that,
know, when you're doing it, you don't realize when they call and say you're going to be honored as icons of the culture, and we both look like, for what? And I realizing we've been doing this for 30 years, and our whole goal to get in this was to take care of our family and serve.
We're servers, so it just feels it's a great blessing.
But I mean, well, you did it, and we want to talk. Your marriage has lasted in an industry where the odds are against it, quite frankly. So we need to all know. I'm divorced, so I need to know what's your secret. Please.
What's your secret?
It's not a secret. I like him. I'm in love with him, and he is my friend. And we started out as best friends. We started out as friends, and we became best friends. And it just grown, and our friendship has helped our relationship survive and thrive. And I mean, I'm still enjoying his company. He still gives me goosebumps.
I told her after 30, this is 35 years now.
April will be 35 years.
It's getting gooder and gooder. We're empty nesters now. We go and come as we please.
Right.
If we want to get up and go to the kitchen butt naked, we can.
Yeah.
That's too much information.
Yes, it is.
Too much information. But we're just enjoying.
Those are goals right there. Yes.
You know, chemistry is so important. I mean, between your marriage and then you two working together, and as you can see, our chemistry is very much important over here. As I was corrected out,
We don't walk naked.
He's
to
like,
the
I
kitchen.
got this.
Yeah.
I got. No, we do not walk naked. We do not
We're
walk
still getting there.
naked to the kitchen. But bless y'all for that. Tamala, Oprah handpicked you to be in the new movie musical, The Color Purple.
Wow.
What's the most special thing? Yes, she did, child, about being part of that project.
Oh my God. You know, the most special part was, especially coming out of the pandemic, is when we were filming. I started at the top of May. She hadn't been out of her house. So the most special part for me is for her to fly and to be with me, taping, and to even fight for me. That was, you know, those are a couple things that I'm forever grateful. I'll just forever be grateful.
She told her, oh, Tamala, man, let me let you know. I came out of my house only to come and see you do this right now.
Yes.
And I'm going back in.
And I'm going back home. She told me I probably shouldn't be out here. I was like, you're going to be fine. She was like, I'm going to be fine. I was like, yes, you're going to be fine. So it was such a great honor. And just working with the whole cast, it's just going to be great. I'm just excited for everybody to see everything come together.
Well, we're excited to see it. You know you made it when Oprah came out of her house, child.
Just for you.
Because Oprah was like
That would
bankers
be on my
for
website.
2 years,
Yeah.
okay? I want to thank you. I want to thank you both for joining us, David and Tamala.
You guys are awesome.
Catch them both tonight on TV One's Urban One Honors. Also, check out Tamala's clothing line at tamalaman.com.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
So
you.
much.
Thank
God
you.
bless you guys.
God bless you guys.
God bless you too. Coming up on this special edition of DBL, we talk with Dr. King's goddaughter. She's sharing special childhood memories and telling us how she's dedicated her life to racial activism. Plus, our interview with young actor Jalen Hall, who's starring in a new series all about MLK.
It's a new year, and DBL is all the talk.
Let's get it going.
We had a lot to talk about last year,
I'm flexing every day.
and we're not stopping in 2023.
Yeah, it is important, but you look at what they have in their house, and everyone would sign up for that.
Oh, yeah.
Because being in a mansion with somebody that you could take or leave, it ain't that. I was just looking at their body language and just like, they're still touching as they're leaning into each. They're these couples, and sometimes I think it's what all these dating apps are for, and all these movies, rom-com. Everybody wants that. They want to just be in the house with the only person on the planet that they feel, you know, gets them better than anybody else, and it's so hard to find, and that's why everybody's chasing it, you know. And you guys have it. I mean, it's really dope.
Maybe they have it a little bit more. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, after 35 years, it comes through the screen. You know if you're faking it. You know if they had a fight right before that.
Right.
They're happy. They're proud where they're at. And I mean, that is the goal, right?
Right.
The happy. We're empty nesters. We walk in the kitchen now to say that free and just everyone laugh about it.
You know what's funny?
That's it.
They said that. They were like, you know, I walk in the kitchen and we're naked. But I thought about Bernie Mac, the Chicago great comic, my favorite comic of all time. And he has that great sketch, one of my favorite of all time, where he says when he took in his sister's kids, but he said before that him and his wife were empty nesters. He's like walking around the kitchen, we were naked, good living, good living. It's like one of my favorite. Only Bernie could deliver that joke. It's just, but that's what it is. It's just like when you guys look and you're like, we did it. Our kids are out. They're launched in the world, and now let's have a margarita on our porch and talk about whatever we want.
I think there's something too. We have to go quickly, but being friends before you get in a relationship. I don't know how much that contributes, but that's how me and my wife started. And I
think
don't
that's
know.
the way to go.
We kind of got a good thing going. We got a good thing going.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Thank you. 15.
No problem. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
There are testimony teachers amongst us to tell us what it was like to fight for civil rights during segregation in the South, so history doesn't repeat itself, including activist, author, and goddaughter of Martin Luther King Jr., Donzale Abernathy, who joins us today. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Donzale.
Hi, how are you? Happy Martin Luther King Day to you.
We appreciate you. Welcome to DBL.
Yes. We can't kick the day off without me asking, Donzale, what is your favorite or fondest memory of Dr. King?
Oh my goodness, I have so many memories of him. One that I love so much is that, he loved to play Monopoly. That was our game, and this is the way they were going to teach us how to count money. And so his oldest daughter, Yolanda, was my sister's best friend. And so on Friday evenings, when we were at our house, we'd have the Monopoly table on the coffee table, and we would count money. And he was always telling his oldest daughter, oh, no, you need to put a hotel there on Park Place. And I was playing by myself, my sister by herself. My dad, he wasn't as playful as Uncle Martin. And I would always say to Uncle Martin, you're cheating. He was like, no, I'm trying to help her win. Uncle Martin used to like for us to jump up and down on the bed, in his bedroom. That's where we learned how to do that. And Uncle Retta would come in and she'd start to yell, and we just loved that Uncle Martin would say, leave these children alone. He had that voice, and I just loved it.
Just hearing you refer to him as Uncle Martin, these people that we read about and learn about, they're these titans, but you forget that they're somebody's uncle and somebody's fun best friend and somebody that was a complete and whole person. And I appreciate you filling in all these gaps that we could just never get anyplace else.
Yeah, and you talk a lot about, obviously, you were a child during Jim Crow laws in the South. What do you remember most about segregation?
Being unable to use the restroom, the public restroom, that was really difficult. That meant you had to hold yourself. Or the segregated water fountains, which were deplorable, or not being able to go into a department store and try clothing on. And I remember that we couldn't go to the lunch counters, and finally we got to go to the lunch counter at Rich's department store in downtown Atlanta.
But Donzale, honestly, thanks for sharing these stories, to give me an insight personally. This wasn't 10 generations ago. This was happening a generation ago, right? You've walked through these. So thanks for sharing the stories on such a special day. Making MLK Day a national holiday was actually your father's idea. So how do you celebrate?
It's a joyful day for me, but it's also a mournful day because Uncle Martin is gone, and I'm really proud of what my dad accomplished. I'm on the road, speaking and meeting with young people and telling them the stories and trying to teach them the importance of what we did and what they must all do, because you cannot assume that because someone else labored for you that freedom is going to be guaranteed to you for the remainder of your life. So then I show pictures and I talk about the Selma to Montgomery March and the right to vote and what it was like to go through that march, how important it was, how important the Civil Rights Bill was, or the bombing of 16th Street Baptist Church. I want people to understand and to know. and that we have to be of service to humanity. You know, we cannot take for granted our freedom, because we could be where we were in Reconstruction and have it taken away again. And it is not the oppressor who is going to willingly and freely give us our freedom. We're going to have to demand it and make sure that it continues. And that's up to each generation. And we have to understand that and appreciate that and rise up to be the best that we can be. We can't afford to seek the lowest common denominator. And when people meet us with hate, we have to meet them with love and find a way to live together. If we don't live together in peace, we will all perish together as fools.
Very true.
Ms. Donzelay, Queen, matriarch of the culture, thank you for your testimony, for joining us on Martin Luther King Jr. Day today. It has been an honor and a privilege.
Absolutely.
Take care of yourself. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. God bless you all.
God bless you as well. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Reflecting the dream. DBL celebrates Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Verify here with your Fast Fact. The third Monday of January is when we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I have a dream.
The U.S. also has a national memorial in Washington, D.C. dedicated to King, featuring some of his notable quotes. It was dedicated in 2011 and is visited by millions of people each year, but it didn't open without some controversy. So let's verify. Did the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial incorrectly attribute a quote to King? These are our sources. The quote in question said, "I was a drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness." But that's not actually what King said. The inscription was paraphrased from a 1968 sermon delivered by King, where he talked about how he'd like to be eulogized. Stanford University says the original quote was, "If you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness. And all of the other shallow things will not matter," unquote. The error was quickly pointed out in an opinion piece published in the Washington Post, and outrage grew because memorial supporters like Maya Angelou argued the paraphrase made King look arrogant. 5 months after the memorial opened, then Interior Secretary Ken Salazar ordered the monument updated, except the entire correct quote wouldn't fit. The National Park Service and the Memorial Foundation ended up erasing the entire inscription. So it's true. The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial did incorrectly attribute a quote to King. Today, the memorial is correct and only has quotes that King actually said. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back. Our next guest is an amazing young actor from the hit show All American, who can now be seen as one of history's most important civil rights figures in the movie Till. Not only that, but he has just been cast as young Martin Luther King Jr. in Genius MLKX on Disney+. Earlier, we spoke with the incredible Jalen Hall. Welcome to the show, Jalen Hall. Hey, Jalen, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourselves?
Man, you are absolutely killing it. You were just cast in Genius MLKX on Disney+. What does it mean to you to just sit back and think about Dr. King's legacy?
Right. Just this journey that I've been on with, telling a lot of the stories that are key to our history in general, and MLK in particular, it really got to reflect like a lot of what we go through as a community, and thinking about his legacy and what I portrayed on the screen and how that intertwines. It's been a great honor, and it's been very enlightening to the point where it has made a really big impact on me.
Wow. Well, a lot of the world is being introduced to you in Till, where you star as Emmett Till. How do you approach playing such an important historical figure?
Yes, well, honestly, there was information about him, but, reading about somebody and then embodying a spirit that, sadly didn't get a lot of time to blossom was something that was very crucial to me because I wanted to make sure that I portrayed him to the best of my ability as a child, most of all, because a lot of times that's what we forget is that he was a child 14 years. So going through that was a very mental process more than physical. I mean, the clothes definitely did help. The setting definitely did help, but it was something that I had to mentally change. And I'm happy I did.
Man, you're an old soul, Jalen. I can feel it coming through to tell. Yeah, definitely. I mean, wow. But let's talk about some of your newer stuff, right? Your newest show, The Crossover, is all about a family dedicated to basketball, while your show, All American, is all about football. So, Jay, I'm going to ask you a little inside question. I've been through the Hollywood ropes. Did you play either sport growing up, or did you just tell the director, yeah, I'm great at both of these?
When I was playing football, I was playing and I was also doing acting at the same time. So I was like, Mom, I want to take a break from acting and just pursue football. And I remember one day in the cab right there in Atlanta, I told my mom I wanted to retire from playing football. At the fruitful age of 7 years old, I was going to retire.
Not retire.
From playing football. But yes.
You are 16 and you have been crushing it. And speaking of your mother, she gives you amazing support. I can only speak for myself. I'm sitting here talking to you, brother, because of my mother. How has your mother made an impact on you?
From the very, literally the very point of my birth, that my mom has been right there for me.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I know, right? Just right there. It's just been us, to be honest with you, on this journey. I love the support from my, of course, my father and my family and everyone who's been there along the way. But if we're just thinking about, right to the point, who's been doing the day-to-day, it's just been me and my mom, Team Us, as we like to call it. So every step of the way to see how proud she is and how proud we both are where we started and where we are now. It's just the best feeling.
Well, she must have known you were going to be special. You're retiring from football at 7 years old.
Yeah.
So she's like, you're already done with one career and now you're blowing up on the big screen. So
on to the next
Mom
chapter.
was right as usual.
Yes. Well, Jalen, after playing these inspiring people from our past in civil rights, is there anyone from history you would also like to play someday?
Oh, man. A lot of the things that I've been doing have reflected a lot on, our history, my history, dating back to a lot of the things that we went through. So I think I would like to stay on that track. In Genius, I don't know how many things I can say about that. But the great, Malcolm X has been mentioned. I think I'm okay to say that, yes. So if anything like that ever happens, like movies on their lives, I would love to be able to play at least the younger version of them to shed a new light on it.
Wow. What a pleasure. 16.
I know.
We're going to look back. I don't know. It might take a year, 2, 3, but we're going to be like, remember that guy? We interviewed him on DBL.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going places, my man.
Now we won't pick up our call.
Jalen Hall, you have such a bright future. We are so proud of you.
Yes, brother.
Please catch Jalen in the movie Till, out in theaters now and video on demand. It's such an incredible performance. You don't want to miss it. So thank you so much, Jalen.
Thank you. This has been an honor. I love talking to you guys.
Hey, well,
please
come back anytime.
Yes. Anytime.
Come back anytime. And we'll be right back.
Prices for consumer goods are up 7% over last year. That has a lot of people searching for answers about minimum wage on Google, specifically whether they might be getting a raise to help cover the increased cost of goods. So let's verify. Did some states raise their minimum wage at the start of 2023? Our sources are the U.S. Department of Labor, the Economic Policy Institute, and labor law firm Ogletree Deakins. In 2009, Congress set the federal minimum wage for workers who don't earn tips at $7.25, and it hasn't changed since then. States are free to set a higher minimum wage. 30 states and D.C. all have laws that do that. At the start of the new year, the Economic Policy Institute says 23 states raised their minimum wage even higher, with the increases ranging from 23 cents in Michigan to $1.50 in Nebraska. So, yes, some states did raise their minimum wage at the start of 2023. Local governments can also set their own minimum wage. EPI says workers in 27 cities and counties also saw their wages increase at the start of the new year. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter helps you distinguish between true and false information by answering your questions. It provides fast facts on trending topics, spotlights major stories, and even includes a daily fun fact for all those trivia buffs out there. Get Verify's fast facts delivered every weekday to your email inbox. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
What Martin Luther King Jr. means to me, as especially a Black woman in media, is the chance to be in a position of amplification for people who look like me. Obviously, this is very new to our culture, and I take the responsibility of sitting on this panel very seriously, because I understand that I am a reflection of the legacy that's before me, and a lot of that legacy stems from people who were brave and powerful and agents of change like Dr. King. So on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I like to actually watch documentaries like King in the Wilderness, because when we lose our history, we're destined to repeat it. And I think it's important to just take time and reflect on exactly who Dr. King was, why his legacy is still celebrated to this day, and how we can be a better part of being agents of change. Welcome back. Martin Luther King Jr. Day has become recognized as a day of service. So we've put together some ways you can celebrate the day in a meaningful way. They include educating yourself on the civil rights movement and by reading some of Dr. King's books. You can also talk to older family members, which I love, about their own lived history, support groups that fight racial injustice, and by supporting Black-owned businesses. Thank you for watching this special edition of DBL. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thanks, guys.